my good friend Dr. Amina Mohammed, the Honorable Cabinet Secretary for Sports, Heritage and Culture, and the former Foreign Minister of Kenya, Mr. Madhusudan Agarwal, the Chairman of the Summit Organizing Committee, Mr. Rajiv Poddar, President of the IMC Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Mr. Sam Bhembe, the Non-Executive Director of the ABN Group, all the distinguished participants in this very important IMC Indo-Africa Summit. A warm welcome to you and a very good afternoon. It's a privilege to be sharing this platform with Dr. Amina. Even though we have to interact in this day and age of COVID through virtual means, and we are not able to come together and bring that personal touch to our various engagements, I think the very long historical ties between the people of Africa and the people of India will not get affected by distance or lack of personal meeting. Even virtually, our ties will only get stronger and better. Even virtually, we will convey the right message to the people of Africa and India. We are natural partners in civilization, in culture, and progress. And we are forged by very strong bonds. Long tradition that Dr. Amina just spoke about, bonds of friendship, bonds of civilizational contact. She went right back to Vasco da Gama. Historical goodwill that our leaders shared, that our people shared with each other, our shared experiences, and the common worldview that the people of Africa and the people of India shared over, I would say, centuries of goodwill between the two continents, or rather the African continent and the Indian subcontinent. If I may quote Henry Ford, coming together is a beginning. Staying together is progress. And working together is success. And I have no doubt in my mind that the African nations and India working together in this spirit of oneness, with the close cooperation that we have seen over decades and decades of our relations, will only result in success, will only give our people prosperity, will only lead to a better quality of life for the people of Africa and the people of India. Our struggles, as Dr. Amina also referred to, were and are very similar. The association over the years has blossomed into a multifaceted and multi-pronged partnership. But this partnership came at a lot of cost to both the people of both regions. And I think the people of Africa and the people of India today are aligned in our interactions on almost all fronts. We work together, we care for each other, and together, I am confident we can uplift our people from the current state of affairs. We can bring prosperity to the billions in Africa and India, and we can make sure that our economies are the aspirations of our people and the need of the hour for a better future for our children can be taken care of collectively in a collaborative approach, cooperating with each other. In fact, the more we collaborate, the more we remain committed to each other, I'm sure we'll be able to take care of the problems of 1/3 of humanity. Between the people of Africa and the people of India, we have common areas of interest. We are all struggling to find solutions to climate change. There are issues around food security, which we certainly believe we can work together to support each other. There is the concerns around malnutrition on which we in India are working, all of you are working in the African countries. There is huge inequality amongst the people of developing countries and the developed world, which we need to bridge. We are both sufferers of terrorism and need to put our best foot forward in the fight against terrorism. And we all have to work to provide quality jobs and employment to our people. As they say, the present is for building solidarity amongst us. The future is for cooperation and collaboration. And when we cooperate, when we collaborate, we will certainly create new beginnings and a better future for our people. COVID, importance of international cooperation in tackling such challenges. Of course, all of us are working towards finding a vaccine, finding a cure for COVID. But as they say, the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. And the more we work together, the more we work with care and concern for each other, the faster the world will come out of this pandemic. Clearly, no country can fight this crisis on its own. And even if some countries were able to overcome this crisis in this global interconnected world, it's not possible unless the entire globe, the people of all the nations, work together and find a permanent solution to the COVID challenge. India commits itself that it will act responsibly, that it will act as a partner with all friendly nations and will be a trusted support to all our friends across the world when it comes to providing medicines, vaccines, and other support that will help all of us come out of COVID-19. In fact, at the peak of the pandemic, when the world was struggling for medicines, India, which is often referred to as the pharmacy of the world, brought in some restrictions on our medical exports, not to stop those exports, not so that those medicines don't reach the rest of the world. Our approach was we wanted to ensure a fair and equitable distribution of the medicines to all the countries in the world. Otherwise, the richer nations with more clout would have cornered the medicines, and the less developed nations, the developing countries, would probably never have been able to purchase medicines given the clout, the financial clout of the developed world. India brought in those restrictions only to make sure that it is democratically made available to every part of the world. In fact, more than 32 African countries also who needed the medicines were given the medicines by India, in most cases as a grant, to make sure that the smallest or the least developed countries also get as many medical supplies as they require. And that truly demonstrates Prime Minister Narendra Modi's thinking, his vision, and his deep commitment to the rest of the world. We have a lot to learn from each other. We have a lot that we can work together on. Our commitment to Africa is reflected in a number of projects that we are working together on, that we are implementing in Africa. Our Indian engineering companies are working in different parts of Africa in infrastructure development, roads, highways, railways, ports, variety of projects. There are lines of credit which are available to the African countries, and currently we are executing over $5 billion worth of projects in different parts of Africa. I'm sure this relationship can and will expand in the days and years to come. We believe the railways, which I also look after in India, also has a lot to offer to our African countries. We can help you develop your railroads. We can help you bring in modern technology to your railroad systems. We are happy to support the fast rollout of rail infrastructure and network across Africa because truly the railways is an engine of economic growth. It connects regions, it allows for movement of goods and people through different parts of your continent, and it will truly bind the people of Africa together. And we in India are very, very hopeful that we can help make Africa, the railway infrastructure in Africa, the engine of its progress. And we assure you of all support that any African nation may be looking for. We have also developed huge capabilities in digital infrastructure, the IT sector, in digital payment infrastructure through the world's lowest cost transaction base in India, the UPI, the United Payment Interface, the Unified Payment Interface that India has developed is the lowest transaction cost on digital payments anywhere in the world. And I would offer it to all our African country partners, friends, that you take our India stack on digital payments, the UPI system. We'll be happy to share it with you and we'll be happy to roll it out across Africa, which I believe can save the people of Africa billions of dollars in transaction costs and remittance costs from other parts of the world that Africans send remittances to. It's something that I believe we should work together on. We should create digital platforms and implement features like direct benefit transfer, digital payments, and integrate the rural parts of Africa with the cities and with the rest of the world. We have also started a project in India. The Prime Minister announced on 15th August, our Independence Day, that in the next 1,000 days, we will take internet and digital connectivity to every single village in the country. We have 600,000 villages in India. We are committed to take the internet and digital infrastructure to every single village. We'll be happy to collaborate with Africa to quickly roll out internet and broadband services across the length and breadth of Africa at very competitive costs. What India offers to Africa is both high quality and affordability. And I can assure you, compared to any other part of the world, Indian costs will be most competitive, reasonable, fair, transparent, and attractive. I can share with you my own experience when we launched the LED bulb program in India. India was typically using the old incandescent bulbs for our lighting load. Prime Minister Modi launched on 5th of January 2015 the world's largest rollout of LED bulbs. And I'm happy to share with you, in the past 5 years, India has completely changed, transformed India's lighting load. And no more does India use those power guzzling old incandescent bulbs. All our lighting has moved to LED lighting. You go to a shop in India and ask for an old bulb, you may actually not find it there. And we have probably sold over 1.5 billion LED bulbs in the last 5 years in India. And as you are aware, against a 6 month to a year's life of an incandescent bulb, LEDs work for 6 or 7 years. And you'll be happy to know the prices of LED bulbs in India fell by 85%. 85%. And today, an LED bulb which lasts 7 or 8 years is available for under $1, anywhere between 80 cents to $1 for a 12-watt LED bulb, which can light up a whole room. And these are the kind of programs and initiatives which bring down your carbon emission, help you address pollution, because most of us use coal-based power plants, reduce your peak load requirement, particularly in the evening hours. Against a 100-watt bulb, you'll be using a 12-watt bulb. India alone is saving 40 billion units of electricity every year. And in terms of money value, our savings exceed $10 billion because of the switchover from incandescent to LED bulbs. That's the saving every year that we've been able to benefit from. These learnings of India can certainly help our friends in Africa roll out benefits for the people of Africa much faster. As Desmond Tutu, the famous South African human rights activist and Nobel Peace Prize winner, had said, do your little bit of good where you are. It's those little bits of good put together that overwhelm the world. I think collectively we can work to do our little bit of good for our people wherever we are. And it's these small little bits of good that will pool together, that will collectively transform the lives of our people. And as he said, overwhelm the world, overwhelm the future of our children. And I'm sure, despite so many challenges that India faces, that Africa faces, when we pool our resources together, when we work together, we will be able to truly reform, perform, and transform the lives of our people. Under Prime Minister Modi's leadership, we have focused on 5 I's: inclusiveness, indigenization, innovation, investments, and international cooperation. I invite Africa to be a part of this program for a more inclusive development of our people, to promote indigenization and domestic manufacturing of the requirements of our people, to inculcate that spirit of inquiry, to promote research, development, innovation in our countries, attract investments through ease of doing business and the necessary regulatory framework, and work through greater international cooperation for a better future for the people of Africa and the people of India. Swami Vivekananda, one of the greatest Indians to be born in India, had said, and I quote, "If faith in ourselves had been extensively taught and practiced, a very large portion of the evil and miseries that we have would have vanished." I think it's time we ignited that faith amongst each other, amongst our people, that we can overcome these challenges, that we can work together, and no power on earth will be able to stop the progress of Africa and India. Let us intensify and deepen our engagement in a sustained and regular manner. Let us constantly work to strengthen the 4 pillars of our relationship. And let us work together to build a more diverse, robust, and resilient supply chain between Africa and India. Let us also resolve to keep our markets open and make it easier and more attractive to trade between Africa and India. We assure you We will support our industry to invest in Africa in a big way. And certainly, the trade figures over the last 20 years, where our mutual trade, bilateral trade, has grown from about $7 billion to nearly $67 billion now, is reflective of this deep engagement between Africa and India. Initiatives like the African Continental Free Trade Agreement that Dr. Amina also referred to will further help Indian investors and businesses to engage with Africa. We have in fact extended duty-free tariff preference scheme to at least 26 of the least developed countries in Africa. And I hope they will take advantage of this large Indian market with which they can trade. Ladies and gentlemen, initiatives like today's virtual engagement help us to rededicate ourselves to this strong bond of friendship and oneness. As Mr. Kofi Annan had mentioned, global solidarity is both necessary and possible. It is necessary because without a measure of solidarity, no society can be truly stable. We strongly believe that Africa's rise globally is an absolute necessity in the present times. We are willing to cooperate and provide support in achieving this goal. My best wishes to you, Dr. Amina Mohammed, and to all the other friends from different parts of Africa on this call today, on this virtual summit. My best wishes to you and your near and dear ones, your families. Please stay safe, stay healthy. We pray for the good health of the people of all of the African countries, and we all wish for a bright future for the children of Africa and India. We all will rededicate ourselves to the future generations. Let us all collectively resolve to leave behind a better world for our children than the one you and I inherited. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.